YouTube, Ozzy, going the Goat House is back. 10 days away from the 2020 NFL Draft, and we have a bunch of Predict the Pick mock drafts on the channel. A lot more to come still, actually, leading up to the draft. But this is a mock draft I like to do once a year, what I like to call the GM mock draft. I play GM for every single team, a what I would do mock draft for the first round. So not Predict the Pick, plenty of those on the channel, plenty more to come. But this is my GM mock draft of 2020. All kinds of NFL content on the channel, more on the way, and we'll be live during the NFL Draft April 23rd, right here for instant predictions, reactions, grades, all of it. We got you covered. We have two channels. Please sub to both. Follow our Twitter. Always updating you guys on everything, talking football every single day. Bunch of polls going out right now covering the NFL Draft, answering any questions. Any link that you need will be down in the description in the comments. Podcast has seven episodes on Spotify and Apple. Links down below. So what I would do mock draft going through the first round here. First 8 picks. I'm the Bengals. I'm taking Joe Burrow, number one player in this draft, number one quarterback, obviously. And this is a game changer. The Bengals with Joe Burrow, they're going to have to get some other pieces, and I trust that they will. But with Joe Burrow, can compete, can go out and win games, maybe even more, something they couldn't do last year. So this is the obvious pick here. And the Redskins, it's pretty interesting. You know, you could make the case for, Tua. You can make the case to finding a left tackle, but Chase Young being the second best player in the draft. And I'm a fan of taking best player available because you don't want to pass up on star talent, and especially edge rusher of Chase Young, the impact position, and then adding him to that very good defense already could bump that defense up to maybe elite. And we know what elite defenses can do. They can take that next step because of that. So I take Chase Young, my number 2 overall player. And then the Lions, I actually take Isaiah Simmons, who's my number 3 overall player in the draft. The linebacker from Clemson. I think he fits Patricia's scheme. He can do multiple things. He's going to make an impact in multiple ways. You think linebacker, they're there to stop the run, maybe help out in some other things here and there. Simmons is going to be involved in every part of the game, every category of linebacker. He's got it. I think this is a future, maybe right away, top tier off the ball linebacker in football. You could argue Okudah. My opinion, I think a guy like Simmons makes much more of an impact, actually. Okudah could be a lockdown corner. He's a very good corner. You stick him on one side of the field, though. Corners don't do a whole bunch right away when they come in, and it's very hard to get them to that all pro, that Stephon Gilmore level, which it took him 5 years in going to New England to do so. So I don't think the Lions get a whole bunch better going the corner route, 3rd overall pick. You get the best overall player at the time who will make a huge impact in every phase of the game on defense. I go Isaiah Simmons. Giants, it's tough call here for the Giants. I like Mekhi Becton. I'm a big Mekhi Becton fan. Freakish dude. He's going to instantly come in and be a dominant run blocker. Yeah, he can work on pass protection like every tackle can, like every tackle that comes in can. You just don't see a guy like this every day. Absolute freak, size and athletically, just a dominant player. The question is, a guy like Wills fits as well. I'm looking for value in fits with all these picks. Has to fit. In my opinion, if you're taking a quarterback, I think you get the best quarterback, and then you make the rest of the team fit around him. But in this case, Wills can plug and play at right tackle. You can keep Solder at left tackle. Maybe your offensive line's better right now that way. But the Giants, even though they can be a sneaky team, can win some games right here, right now. I'm still looking out for the future. Not that the other linemen won't be part of the future. Obviously, they will. But Becton, all kinds of upside, left tackle. When are you going to find a left tackle like that? It's going to really help Saquon Barkley, really help opening that run game, but the pass game to him as well, and then the entire pass game, because running that at that high of a level really opens up the pass. That's how you become unpredictable. So Mekhi Becton is the pick for me if I'm the Giants. Dolphins get 2 at 5. It's a no-brainer. Sure, you would rather have Joe Burrow. Tua's not too far behind. The question is, can he stay healthy? I'm risking it here. I take Tua. That's your quarterback of the future. No-brainer. The Chargers, I pass on the quarterback. There's no quarterback here that's going to help you right now, and this team is built to win right now. It really is. You just need a quarterback, you need a left tackle, but Tyrod Taylor is going to be able to win more games than that third quarterback in this draft, as long as he has a left tackle. And keep in mind, if you get that rookie quarterback, he's really not going to have a left. They're probably going to grab one, but will he be on the level of Andrew Thomas, the plug-and-play left tackle from Georgia? And then keep in mind that they could sign Cam Newton. I think they're going to wait till after the draft. I think Cam Newton wants to wait till the draft. He wants to see who drafts quarterback early. So Andrew Thomas is a perfect replacement for Russell Okung. I see the fit here. The top four tackles are interesting. There's really no right answer to how you have them ranked for specific team fits. There are, like I said, Becton's a freaky dude. He's got the upside. I love Thomas in the fit for LA, and that's the plug and play left tackle there. If Isaiah Simmons is there, I'm definitely tempted to go him. I think he would fit their defense perfectly. The Panthers go Derek Brown. Tough choice here between Derek Brown, Javon Kinlaw, and Jeff Okudah. Jeff Okudah's sitting on the board still. Derek Brown is just so dominant. The tape is so dominant. I think that's the guy that's going to make the most impact for your team out of those three. He's going to be a top-tier run stuffer right off the bat, and he gets after the quarterback. It's just a freaky dude that's just going to make that much of an impact. Holes are pretty much wide open, at the D-line and the corner position too. The tape says Brown. He's also a freaky dude. Javon Kinlaw, maybe more on the athleticism favors him and the upside favors him. I just like Derek Brown here. And then for the Cardinals, I actually go Javon Kinlaw. Tough decision looking at the offensive line. Tristan Wirfs might be appealing, and that offensive line kind of being on the weaker side maybe stops them short, which could be a sneaky team in the Arizona Cardinals this season. And that's tough. A lack of offensive line play and consistency stop teams short all the time. It's very important. But at the same time, I need to stay true to my board here. And Javon Kinlaw is going to be higher than the rest of the offensive linemen here. And I don't know if Wills fits that much. Some people think Wills is, I think he's going to be a good right tackle. I still don't think he fits. He was kind of protecting the blind side of Tua, and Tua's able to roll out the opposite way. It's going to be totally different here for the Arizona Cardinals. So, imagining, looking at this offense, the offensive line could struggle, could stop them short. They could grab some in the rest of this draft, but this offense is going to be a force. You don't know what to expect. It's hard to game plan against. Only a second year of Kingsbury, Kyler Murray. They barely had Kenyon Drake. They really didn't have their identity. Now they have DeAndre Hopkins. This offense will be a force no matter what. Look at the defense. They've done some good things in free agency, good things. You have Chandler Jones, who was really carrying that front last year, him being a 3-4 outside linebacker, getting after the quarterback. And, you add some other pieces, but look at the D-line. It's still on the weaker side. You did add Jordan Phillips, but just adding a guy like Kinlaw could just upgrade this defense so much more. It's kind of that piece, the mixture of run stopping and getting after the quarterback from the interior side of the defense. It just makes this defense so much better, and their defense on top of their offense, could be scary, and that's why I really can't pass on Kinlaw here. Next picks here, I'm the Jags. I take CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb's my number one receiver in the draft. I think Jeudy should be and will be one for other teams. It makes sense about fit. The Jags receiving unit definitely needs work. They got a few guys that, they can play, but the only one that I'm really liking is DJ Chark, breakout year last year. They need more help. The other, Marquise Lee could be solid. He just cannot stay healthy. Westbrook is a solid rotation guy in my opinion. That shouldn't be, in my opinion, you need multiple number one receivers out there. And they just need more firepower on offense. So you grab CeeDee Lamb, play him opposite of DJ Chark. That's dominant right there. And CeeDee Lamb is higher than 9 on my board, so just too good to pass. And see where the league's heading to. And this is how, you need to get that offense up. You need to get it down. They've had a good defense for so many years. They broke it down. Do they want to rebuild it now and go back to where they started, or they just try to get this offense going? Lamb's definitely worthy of the pick. They get a lot better with him. Browns, Jedrick Wills, offense lineman in Alabama. I like the idea of him actually at left tackle for the Browns. A little transition, a little bit different footwork. Obviously, what's programmed in your head. I think that's the transition to right to left or left to right. You're just so used to, your certain footwork that you don't really think. You just kind of do it. But these guys are first-round talents for a reason. I would like him at left tackle for the Browns. Maybe a little bit of a risk, but I like it there. Jets take Jeudy, my second best receiver in the class, right there with CeeDee Lamb. Best route runner in the class, best separator. So that'll help Sam Darnold out big time. So I actually had Jeff Okudah fall to 12, a very good corner, the top corner in the class. There is a long list of corners, and early in this process, I thought there was a huge gap between Kuda and the rest, I don't think that's quite as big now. There's a long list of corners, so some teams maybe could wait here, but definitely too good to pass for the Raiders. Having a second pick helps too, because you can grab one of those receivers with that second pick, especially with Lamb and Jeudy off the board. So you take Okudah here, the best corner in the draft, but he does fall a little bit. For me, I'm not taking a corner super high. I just, it's good to have lockdown corner or multiple of them, but I think there's just more impact. Any type of pass rush, and a guy like Isaiah Simmons, which is as rare as can be. But the Raiders get a steal and Jeff Okudah there. I'm a big fan of Denzel Mims, wide receiver from Baylor, so I plugged him in there at 13 in the Niners, and I love the fit. This is exactly what the Niners are missing. That deep ball play. Well, they have plenty of guys that could get deep, could get open deep, but that contested catcher down the sideline, that's exactly what Denzel Mims is. I think he's going to be a dominant receiver right away. Just that extension on the catch, that contested catch, that sure-handed, anywhere on the field. That's exactly what the Niners need. They got Deebo Samuel, who was great, can do a bit of everything, but a lot of underneath things, sometimes in the backfield, getting the ball. So exactly what they're missing here in Denzel Mims, exactly what they have been missing here. So this is going to kind of bring another part to their game. They're going to open things up downfield, even when he's not open or Garoppolo has to throw it in a hurry. It's a guy that you can trust to make that contested catch. So would have loved that for the Niners offense. So Tristan Wirfs falls to 14. The Buccaneers take him. I think they play him at right tackle. It's a perfect fit there and help Brady get the protection. The Broncos then take Henry Ruggs, the speedy receiver from Alabama. He very well could be number one receiver on team's board, and I would actually understand that, even though I don't have him number one. But the Broncos end up with him here. He'll play on the outside opposite of Courtland Sutton. So you got Courtland Sutton, who's the big body guy, very good after the catch, very good contested catch. And then you got Henry Ruggs, the speed, the deep threat, and you can definitely do more with him because of that speed and quickness. So that's going to be a very good duo there. But at the same time, you also can get a slot guy that can play inside of Courtland Sutton. That could be a win too. So the Falcons go Clavon Chason. A lot to decide from here, but Chason's all about the traits. The traits are there. He has a good amount of production to go along with it. This guy's got a ton of upside. So the future is him with Dante Fowler Jr. Gives him flexibility to move around different schemes, kind of give hybrid looks as well. And pass rush really is the name of the game on the defense in today's game, and the Falcons have been lacking it. So this instantly makes them better. We're on the next group of picks here. Trevon Diggs is my number 2 corner in the class. I think a lot of people are sleeping on him as a playmaker. He was productive. And then at times, I viewed him as a lockdown corner too. He didn't give up a whole bunch when targeted. So, and just the playmaking ability, the footwork is key, and he hasn't been at the cornerback position for all that long. So, he has the upside as well. This is that playmaker type that the Cowboys will be missing without Byron Jones. So they get Trevon Diggs in there. Dolphins desperately need offensive line help, specifically tackle. They take Josh Jones, who I do think is worthy of the pick, as a sleeper, first round tackle. He's well known to go in the first round, but I think people put too much there is separation between the top 4 and then Josh Jones, but maybe people leave little too much of a gap. So they need to keep Tua protected. The injury is a little scary enough, so you got to keep him protected. So the Raiders happen to get Jeff Okudah. Now they get Justin Jefferson here at 19, so that'll be a heck of a draft for the Raiders. They get the best true slot receiver in this class that can do a little more than that too. Great after the catch, great body control. The Jags, we saw them get a receiver. Now they get Ross Blacklock. This would be your Calais Campbell replacement. Blacklock is one of those guys that will definitely be better in the NFL than he was in college. More production than your typical stats will say. He got pressure on the quarterback, and it was a tough task with a lot of stunts that TCU ran on their defensive line. Blacklock will stop the run, but he can be a sneaky good in terms of getting pass rush, from the interior defense line. It's your Calais Campbell replacement here. Love the fit. Eagles take Jalen Reagor, he's really grown. I've always been somewhat high in Reagor, but he's really growing on me. Just another TCU guy, and another TCU guy that I guarantee will be better at the next level. He won so many reps that he did not get rewarded for because the quarterback play was that poor. Surprisingly how poor it was. TCU, pretty big school. They haven't had too much success recently. But yeah, that was surprising. Just a dynamic player. He can do a whole bunch of different things with him. And a crazy athlete. And he checks all the boxes there. So the Eagles, him with Carson Wentz, to be big time. Big time. Exactly what they need in there. And then the Vikings take T. Higgins, and this is exactly what the Vikings been missing and what they've been trying to get. T. Higgins could scare some because he's a bigger body receiver, contested catch receiver. We really don't know how fast he is because we didn't see him at the combine, but if you watch the tape, I think he's faster than people think. Maybe quickness isn't there, but maybe the Vikings fans specifically, may worry because Laquan Treadwell, is he the same type as Laquan Treadwell? Not far off, but there is a pretty big difference. Laquan Treadwell was a dominant contested catcher, mainly dominant on the sideline in the red zone. Higgins is better overall, in terms of inside the field, getting a little bit more separation, and I think he has more deep speed to go on top of it. Very, very good contested catcher. It's that big body. They're taking Diggs away. No more Diggs. Sideline threat, deep ball threat, and then Higgins kind of brings that with the bigger body as well. So that's kind of exactly what they're missing. Maybe they would rather have some of the receivers that already came off the board, but this receiver class is this good where teams need to start to get them. And people always say it's a deep class. Why not wait? And it is a very deep class, but it's also very good at the top. The difference between some of these guys, Jefferson, Reagor, Higgins, the difference between those guys and then the guys in the second and third round, even though those guys in the second and third round are good and could make an instant impact, there is a big difference. These guys are legit. A lot of these guys would be number one receivers in most draft classes. So this is the best part. Even though it's a deep, deep class, this is the best part of this receiver class. Patriots go Kenneth Murray, Bond, both really good fits. Went with Murray. More upside at Murray. Could play off the ball linebacker, but he was actually very productive as a pass rusher as well. So a good mixture of both tells me he can be Belichick's somewhat of a utility linebacker like Van Noy was, like Jamie Collins was. So Murray could fill that role, a really good fit, and definitely worthy of the pick at 23. Patrick Queen for the Saints, the best player available at this point most likely, and then he'll definitely help them out. I think him playing next to a guy like Demario Davis would be deadly. I think the Saints defense, when they looked at their best last year, see Demario Davis, how much of an impact he made, and adding Queen to that, who has upside too because he came in at LSU as a running back, only a couple years at linebacker, super impressive there. And then we go to the last 8 picks of the What I Would Do mock. The Vikings pick again. Tough one. Between a lot of corners, but you could go offensive line as well. I went Jeff Gladney. I like Jeff Gladney a lot. Real good instincts, knows how to read the quarterback at the same time of covering the receiver, and then pretty physical too. I don't think he gets enough credit for his physicality, so add him, which is a need for the Vikings at corner. Who knows with them though? They may believe in Holton Hill and Mike Hughes, which I can't really blame them too much for them to be their starting corners. They do need a slot, and Gladney actually lined up in the slot a little bit, but I do view him as the outside, but can't play either, and I think a guy like Mike Hughes could also play in a slot. Then the Dolphins take Terrell Lewis, one of my favorite players in the draft, edge rush from Alabama, not getting enough credit. This guy is an absolute freak. I like him as a pass rusher in Brian Flores' scheme, of course. And he's got the pass rush moves. He has the athletic moves. He's a freaky dude. It's just staying healthy. He stayed healthy this year. I'm trusting the process here. The Seahawks go Cesar Ruiz, which I think is a realistic predict the pick as well. They need another offensive lineman in there, interior offensive lineman. The thing with Ruiz, I like him at center, but he can play guard, but I think he'll play center. I think they'll put B.J. Finney, who they just acquired in free agency, to guard. So got to get protection for Russ. Everyone's saying pass rush is their biggest need. It is a pretty big need, but that offensive line is just a little more important to me. So Ruiz is the pick. The Ravens go Julian Okwara, the edge rush from Notre Dame, another guy that I am higher on than most. This guy was very productive. Only played 8 games this year, but very productive. In 2018, he had 40 pressures on the quarterback, which is in a ridiculous number, and this guy can drop in coverage as well. Another one where it's Okwara, Bond. Maybe Bond would fit a little better what they have been doing because the Ravens have been getting most of their pressure from inside linebacker blitzes. A lot of it. It's best blitzing team in football. They're a little thin on that inside linebacker spot now. A lot of those guys have been gone from the last couple years, and they're starting to beef up, the pressure-wise on the defensive line. So there's some change going on. So now I think it's time to get that pressure off the edge, and that's Okwara. So would like that for the Ravens. The Titans go C.J. Henderson. Maybe not their biggest need. Maybe too good to pass here. The upside is there. I might be a little lower on Henderson than everyone else, but this is still well worth the pick. I think what amazes everybody, gets everyone excited, is the mixture of physicality and athleticism. You see what he did at the combine, and we know he's physical. He successfully lands some good press, right up at the line. But then what comes after that? I think people are forgetting what comes after that, and he's not getting beat a lot or anything. I'm not saying that. I just think there's more playmaking ability and better play after that point from the other corners. But Titans, they do have their starting corners outside right now, Malcolm Butler, Dory Jackson, both which got hurt at times last year. Malcolm Butler was missed almost a whole year, and then Malcolm Butler's a guy that's not going to be around forever. They desperately need corners in general, and then a starting corner for the future. And we've seen Henderson get some reps in the slot, so Henderson really could right away start at that Logan Ryan spot if they don't get him back, but then be the future outside. So I like that for the Titans. But again, maybe not their biggest need, but it's up there. But for me, it's not always about the going in order of the need. I think people get confused. Like, there's always those people that say, we need an edge rusher first. What are you doing? Then we need a corner. It's really not how it works. That's how you pass up on really good players. The Packers go Brandon Ayuk, who's going to be an outside threat, can read coverages, super freaky. The 4.50 it's flying. People forget that's actually flying, but it won't say his speed and his athleticism on the field. There's definitely more of it. At times, he looks like a 4.3 guy. So the Packers definitely what they need there. Put him in there. Devontae Adams, Devin Funchess. I think that's going to be a dynamic offense. I would love that pick. Niners go Neville Gallimore, defense lineman from Oklahoma. We seem to get a receiver with their first round pick. Neville Gallimore be perfect in there. Replacement for DeForest Buckner. You can't really compare him to Buckner, but he'll actually be able to give you more reps at the nose tackle. Buckner moved around quite a bit. But I think that'd be that perfect. He can get that pressure from the nose position, which they desperately could use there to keep that defense alive and maybe eventually get it better. The Chiefs take Christian Fulton, cornerback from LSU. Yeah, compared to the other corners, he's not going to wow as much. I guess that's the difference. He's not going to wow as much. He just does it right. Tight in coverage. Very athletic dude too, can attack the ball. He's not going to get a crazy amount of interceptions. The only thing I worry about him, you can against the really good receivers, maybe receivers that are stronger than him against the line, or have that really quick move. You can catch him off balance a little bit, nothing major, but it's a guy that gets the job done. And the Chiefs could be in the market for a corner here. So that is what I would do mock in the first round. I play GM for every team, and then I'm looking for value and I'm looking for fits. I'm not a person that's going to reach for somebody because it's a giant need. I'm just not. There's a draft every single year. This is not the one and only draft. You have to get these needs. It's how you pass on. Teams still do it, but it's how you pass on big-time players, and that's how guys get fired. So I'm a believer in that. But I think in this mock, everyone filled a pretty big need at the same time of getting some top-tier talent worth of value. So yeah, that's my thoughts. I'm hoping to get your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please like this video. We'd really appreciate it. Follow both of our channels. Follow us on Twitter. Follow our podcast. Link in the description and the comments for all that. A lot of video, 10 days left, and a lot of videos and content to get through still. Keep you updated on that Twitter. Can't wait to go live during that NFL Draft Day 1, April 23rd. Hopefully you can join us. We'll be live right here. But that's going to do it for this one. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Goodbye.